Hello everyone and welcome to yet another YouTube video. In preparation for Godzilla x Kong the New Empire, I will be rewatching the entire MonsterVerse starting from Kong Skull Island and going all the way through until Godzilla vs. Kong. I decided that after I rewatch all of these movies, I should do an honest review of them. So here we are at my honest review of Kong Skull Island, the very first movie in the MonsterVerse in chronological order. Most of the video will be spoiler free, but if you do have yet to see the movie, I'll get into more detail later, which will obviously contain spoilers, but I'll warn you beforehand. And yeah, all these movies will be split into two major categories for my rankings: the human side of the movie and the monster side of the movie. So with that being said, let's get started. First, I'm going to start with the human side. And honestly, yeah, really underwhelming characters. And I know, it's a monster movie. Monster movies are about monsters, not people. But the people still are a part of the movie and should be treated as such. None of the characters in this movie are very memorable. And honestly, I had forgotten most of them were even in the movie, excluding John Riley's character, who I actually liked, if I'm saying his name right, and then one other character, which I will talk about a little bit later. They had next to no character development, and I simply did not care about them at all. The human versus monster action was also very strange. Granted, there were some really cool shots, but there was also a lot of really weird shots, like first-person shooter style shots, or in the middle of combat zooming in really close into people's faces and eyes, and it was weird. And honestly, weird camera angles and shots were a really common theme throughout the whole movie. Besides those first person shots and the eye zooms, the scene that sticks out to me the most is the super unnecessary shots of a bobblehead when they were first entering Skull Island. And just weird things like that in the whole movie made it very strange to watch. And before getting into the monster aspect of the movie, I just wanted to say that this movie has a ton of montages and mixed in with like pop culture songs over them. And it's just yet another thing on top of this movie that just made it really strange and super unnecessary. Well, as far as my spoiler-free review on Monster Action, it was overall really good. Kong's fights were fun to watch. I love the designs of the skull crawlers a lot, and I felt like they brought a lot extra to the movie. But now I will be getting into more spoilers of things that happened in the movie with these monster fights. So if you have not watched it yet, now is the time to break away. Well, now into these monster action fights. Kong's fights with the Skullcrawlers are honestly really awesome. And I love the use of Kong using weapons in the movie, such as when he used the tree and the propeller whilst he was fighting. The death of the final Skullcrawler was really satisfying, and overall the monster action in this movie was really good. The story of the movie was really generic when it first came out, and until very recently, I felt like it was really shallow. Even still, the story's not great and neither are the characters, but Monarch Legacy of Monsters has changed my perception of how I view this movie a lot. So, if you have not yet seen Monarch Legacy of Monsters, please skip forward to this timestamp that is on the screen right now, where I will finish my review of the movie. And yeah, because this next section is going to be containing a lot of spoilers from the show. So, Bill Randa. Originally, he was introduced in Kong Skull Island, but he was further explored in great detail during that Monarch show. Although his character was originally bland and pretty dumb in Skull Island, rewatching it after having seen his character development in the Monarch show was really fun to watch, and it made me care a lot more about his actual character. Also, Monarch, the main reason the characters even ventured into Skull Island in the first place, was not explored at all in the movie, and it was honestly a little annoying because I barely understood why the things that were happening, and they just kept saying, oh, because of Monarch, but you don't know what that is. But when you pair this movie with the Monarch show, the movie gets so much better. And this video is not a ranking of the Monarch show. I'll do that later. I just thought it was really interesting to see how they connected and rewatching Skull Island after that Monarch show. Well, time to welcome back all those who have not yet seen the Monarch show, because I'm going to finish my review, and if you skipped forward, welcome back. So, some cons that I definitely found in the movie was that the overall story of the movie, it felt extremely rushed when there was story, and that was barely the case because the story was barely present at all. The characters in the movie have little to no development, and I did not even care about them at all. Weird camera angles and unnecessary montages broke up my interest in the movie just because they felt really unnecessary, and it was just really weird. Although that sounds like a lot, which honestly it is, there are definitely some positive things about the movie, such as the monster on monster action was really good, especially that final fight with Kong versus the grown Skullcrawler. I also really enjoyed many of the deaths in this movie, simply because they were actually way more brutal than I remembered, and I enjoyed that because it really conveyed a sense of true danger that the island had, which helped captivate my attentiveness when nothing else in the movie could really do that. Overall, it's not a great movie, and definitely one of the worst in the Monsterverse, but it wasn't that bad. I would give it a 5 out of 10, so it's just simply an average movie. If you enjoy monster movies, sure, I think you should watch it, and just as a simple whatever, I just want to watch a monster movie, I would suggest it. But if you don't thoroughly enjoy monster movies, I don't suggest it just because I don't feel like the movie was very well made. Well, anyways, that was my review of Kong Skull Island and the first entry in chronological order in this Monsterverse series where I rank all the movies. Next on my list is Godzilla 2014, which I am a big fan of, so please stick around and see what I have to say about that. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys all in the next one. I have a lot of Godzilla content, so if you want to watch that, absolutely do it. Godzilla, Monsterverse, anything. So I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.